All right, our next guest is Oscar and Tony-nominated actor and best-selling author Ethan Hawke, who is out with a new book. On screen, Hawke starred in popular movies.
Hello, today I present to you an extremely attractive application for music lovers. It's completely free. You can listen to music online or download unlimited music to use whenever you don't have internet. The powerful search function helps you find anything you want. Trust me. It's hard not to find what you're looking for because the search function is really powerful. Application download link is attached in the description of the video. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Thanks.
Like Dead Poets Society and the Before trilogy, Training Day, and a career spanning more than 3 decades. Here he is in the 2014 coming-of-age film, Boyhood.
Oh.
Yes! 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 All right, don't worry about it.
Looks like you use the bumpers.
Bumpers are for kids. You know, what are you, 2 years old? You don't want the bumpers. Life doesn't give you bumpers.
No, it doesn't. The multi-talented actor, director, and writer is also the author of several New York Times best-selling books. His latest is Meadowlark, a coming-of-age crime story co-written with illustrator Greg Ruth. A father-son relationship is at the center of this graphic novel. Ethan Hawke joins us now. Good morning, Ethan. Thanks for being with us.
Hey.
And this is a beautiful book, I got to say. But one thing I got to point out is that the father in this book looks very much like a well-known actor.
I don't know. It's the first graphic novel I've ever starred in. That's for sure. When we were starting this book, the artist that I collaborated with, Greg Ruth, this is really his magnum opus. I mean, he's a brilliant artist, and we were trying to write something about being a dad and being a son, and try to do something cool with that. But at the time, I just finished Magnificent Seven, and I had this giant kind of weird cowboy mustache, and Greg ran away with that, and I didn't know that he was going to draw me in the graphic novel, but it's kind of cool to star in a graphic novel.
It looks, it's really great. It actually looks a little bit like a storyboard for a film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people say that about graphic novels, but you know, it's a really interesting medium because it's just such a private experience reading a graphic novel. It's a little bit more like walking through a museum. You know, you can decide how long you want to spend with each image and absorb it as you wish. I've learned a lot about it through working with Greg.
Hey, Ethan, you describe the story in Meadowlark as a Greek myth disguised as a crime story. What do you mean by that?
Well, Greg and I each had boys who were turning about 16, and it seemed to us that when they came out of adolescence, all of a sudden they woke up, they were as tall as we were, and they looked at us and were so disappointed, you know, that they were like, wait, you're all I get as a dad? And there's something ancient, it felt, about that expression in their eyes. It felt like something Greek. And we started thinking about, you know, Star Wars is rooted around all this Joseph Campbell myths. And we really thought it would be fun to try to write a myth about fathers and sons, but set it in our childhood, Texas, and make a crime story out of it. I don't know. It was a giant long riff. And if anybody who knows Greg knows his brain is huge, and he can talk about anything forever. But
I mean, it is. Listen, I love the characters. You've got somebody named Wolf Boy, Red, who's a bear-sized albino of a guy. It's sort of a take your child to work story that sort of goes awry because the dad is troubled and the dad is troubled and the son is troubled. But there is something about the father-son dynamic that I think you capture really well in this book. You, Ethan Hawke, best-selling author.
Yeah, well, you know, there's something, you know, when you're teaching your son to drive or you're teaching your daughter to drive, and you have these moments that we all stumble on where you feel yourself connected to some larger force of humanity. You're a part of some, and it feels ancient. And I think that good stories help us see what is ancient in our present day life. And so that's kind of what we were going for. And it's a moment that I really cherish, watching your young people grow up and turn into adults. It is a metaphor. It is like watching a butterfly fly away.
Yeah. You know, Ethan, the closest thing we have to kind of myths and fables in our present day are kind of the big tentpole comic book movies and series. And you recently shot one for a Marvel character. As I understand it, you're a villain, and it's going to be called Moon Knight. What can you tell us about it?
Well, I didn't say I'm the villain. First of all, here's what I can tell you about it. In 30 years of acting, the first thing that was totally new about working with Marvel is I've signed so many non-disclosure agreements, and every time I go talk about it, I get scolded. So here's the trick: is I'm shooting it in Budapest. Oscar Isaac is in it with me, and it's been a phenomenal experience. In all honesty, what I like about it is if you're doing Spider-Man or Superman or any of the more famous, iconic superheroes, you have such responsibility to the fan base. Yeah. But Moon Knight is so not well known, and it's really exciting to stir that up.
And I love that you got the role. You and Oscar bump into each other at a coffee shop, and he says, "Hey, want to do a movie?" I love that it happened just like that for the two of you.
Well, that's what's cool about New York, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I mean, it's a special city that way. And, Oscar loves the theater and I love the theater. We run in a similar circle, so it's not as, random as maybe it seems.
All right. Ethan Hawke, thank you. Good luck with the book. It's called Meadowlark. It's available now wherever you buy your books.